Hey, what's up, buddies? Welcome to Huobi Global, another Primebox event, and today we have two special guests here. But let me just introduce Lisa first. Hello, Lisa. Lisa is from a Web3 protocol, Anyverse, and today we are going to introduce Anyverse, and also later on we'll have Bobby here. Bobby is Bobby is from the protocol of Fearless FLC. I think in the last Primebox event, we actually met Bobby, but some of you might be new here, so we'll just go through these two protocols with you. And for the topic today is a celebration of Primebox and to the moon and win a share of the 2 million USDT prize pool. So make sure you have the Huobi app. Just stay tuned, and also at the end of the session, I'll ask you a few questions so that you can collect the cards for getting the rewards. And there will be a total like 5 questions. So make sure you just catch up with our conversation, and just I hope you win the rewards. And yeah, without further ado, I would like to introduce Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Hello.
Lisa?
Yeah, I can hear you very clearly.
Yeah. So
thanks for having me here.
Bobby is here.
Bobby's here. Finally.
Sorry.
Hey, Bobby.
Solo show here.
Yes, nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Man.
Can you hear me? Yes,
I
good
can
to see
hear
you.
perfectly. Apologies.
Yeah.
Network issues.
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. So to our audience, Bobby is from FLC Fearless, and in the last Primebox episode, actually we already met Bobby, and today we are very happy to meet him again. And Lisa and Bobby, let's just introduce yourself to our audience so that they know more about you and also your project, what you do, and the kind of stuff. Maybe we'll start with you, Lisa.
Hello, thanks for having me here. I'm Lisa Cho, the director of the Strategic Business Department at Anyverse. And I have worked at Anyverse since its very first beginning back in 2020. I have seen all the growth and journey together with my team so far. So I'm really glad that we finally made it here to be on a Huobi Global live streaming talk show tonight. It means everything to us. Before joining in Anyverse team, I had also worked for the other IP and game-based crypto project as a marketing manager as well. And this is all you need to know about me. For your information, I caught a cold, so I lost my voice. So I'm really sorry. I hope you guys understand if my voice sounds a bit awkward, but I'll try my best to deliver all the things you guys want to know about our project today. Thank you.
You sound perfect, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's all right. Your voice is perfect, by the way. Don't worry about that. Yeah, very clear. Hey, Bobby. Nice to meet you again. Yeah, I think some of our audience actually know you, right? And I think some of them are new here. So we would like to know more about you and also the project of FLC. Would you like to tell us more about it?
No, absolutely. My name is Bobby Bhatia. I got involved with blockchain about 10, 11 years ago. I have been an active investor. So we also own Bridgeport Capital, and of course, Fellas is an extremely important project for us. Fellas, I got involved with about a year ago. And the idea was to really look at Korean intellectual property and then try to help the artists in Korea to initially start off on their digital journey. We've also been expanding from there into Asia and also global properties, which we'll talk about. But thank you so much, Huobi, for hosting us again.
Yeah, absolutely, Bobby. Very nice to meet you and also later. For your information today, we have a lot of audience here because we have a special event. We'll distribute a lot of rewards, and that's great for us. And let's just kickstart the conversation, and let's start with I'm actually curious about a project of Anyverse, because I wouldn't say I'm a gamer, but I like to try to play some crypto games, and also the metaverse thing sounds fantastic to me. especially with the VR thing, and it kind of is. To me, it's kind of a new concept and also a new way to experience gaming. And in the metaverse, a lot of new things. And would you like to, just guide me through the whole project and also what's like for our general audience to understand the project?
Sorry, I kind of lost because network is unstable. So
don't worry about it. Yeah.
Sorry.
I just said that. I just said that. I'm actually very curious about your project because I like to play games and also the metaverse thing, and also with the VR function. They sound kind of interesting and also fantastic to me. Would you like to tell us about your project?
Okay, got it. Before I introduce our project, I have prepared some material to get a better understanding of our project. So I'll share the screen.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, can you guys see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, you're from Korea?
Yeah, I'm from Korea.
Maybe Bobby has a lot of things to just
that's why I kind of so curious about what the Bobby saw, that they are working with the Korean project teams. So it's a perfect match for us to be in this live streaming show tonight. Basically, Aniverse is a Web3 metaverse based on the user-generated content, where anyone can easily create their own content, such as short-form films, cartoons, and even the moving tunes, using open sources, character IP, and creation tools that we provide. It's still in the developing stages, but it'll be built on Unreal Engine and the Maya, which is the 3D computer graphics application hybrid system. Well, but you guys will be able to meet our beta version first, soon, around at the end of this year. So on the left side, you can see the image. Is the sketch version of an Aniverse metaverse, which is the web-based virtual space. We take the concept of a movie set, and on the right side, you guys going to ultimately see around at the end of this year, and this is the 3D animation applied version. So as you can see on each set, a number of living characters are interacting with each other. You can see the yellow singing, and the brown looks annoyed by it. And each set has a feature such as games and videos and staking and breeding. And when you click to each set, it will automatically link to the service that you guys want to approach. And this concept of a movie set is constantly expanding depending on the partnership we have in the future. So the further technical support.
I think it's just looks like a crypto version of SimCity to me. By just looking at the right picture, and then right.
Oh, we got a concept from here and there, but we use our best to make the best out of our ability, and we have a strong ability to make the animation. And we got a great teams to adopt our skills and Maya data and Unreal Engine into our metaverse. So that's why you think of the SimCity when you see this.
Yeah, cool.
So where was I? Oh, well, the technical support will allow adopting the promotional functions in each space in the future. So I have the example of the advertisement. Actually, we played it when we launched the NFT marketplace in this year. I will show you the video. Sorry. I'm not that used to it.
Yeah, don't worry, take your time.
Can you see the video here?
Yeah, I can see the video. Yeah.
Okay, I'll play it.
Is that a snail? No, the characters actually look cute.
How was it?
Actually, the one,
Thank you.
the one in your virtual background. What is that character actually?
This is red and this is yellow, our iconic character.
Does it have a name?
Oh, just red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Simple, is it?
Yeah. I just read something about your project, and I read something like you have some VR thing incorporated in the metaverse, and how does that actually work? I'm a little bit curious about.
To be honest, we don't support the VR at the moment, but we will on the user-generated content metaverse in the future, but it's still in the beta version, but we will see in the next 2 years.
All right, definitely. Thank you for just taking us through your project, and it's I think it's cute, especially characters. So hey, Bobby, hey, yeah. Yeah, I think yeah. So I think Fila says, I think it's a social file, I would say, because last time you talked about connecting the current artists and also the concerts and also NFT thing, and some of our audience might be new to this project. Would you like to just take us through the concept of your protocol?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I mentioned to you, so obviously in Korea, as everybody understands, the whole K-pop generation was absolutely amazing, and it was amazing that a lot of the intellectual property, whether it's in the form of TV series, movies, music, even though it might be in a different language, was so appealing to global platform, right? So when we saw this and we saw such an amazing global appeal, we also had to, just like Hollywood is thinking about, how does one intellectualize and how does one technologize the whole intellectual property, right? So that's where we actually started off from. So MetaMu, which we launched on crypto.com, it was the first Korean virtual artist. Fandagio was involved, and done by the #1 producer. So that was an immensely successful. And then what we actually started focusing on was looking at certain things as we bring the Web 2.0 world into the Web 3.0 world, right? So one of the things that we have done, and we're actually going to be showcasing this over the weekend, this coming week, which is our NFT ticketing app. So, we're partners with Rakuten. We've also taken a stake in Ultra Music Festival. We actually just one of the co-hosting the Ultra Festival in Korea, right? So these are the few things that we're doing. And the idea is to work with established brands, established entities, and also kind of unleash a new power, right? So up till now, they've done whatever they do, they're brands in themselves, and they've done so well. But now if we can bring a concept of ticketing to them, for example, before we used to go to tickets and we used to go to events and we'd show our friends, oh my God, see, I went to this event, right?
Yeah.
Now, if we have the same ticket, and just to put it simplistically, but obviously it's a lot more complicated in the back end, is that now I actually have an NFT as a collectible that I went to that event. Now the event owners can actually turn around and say, hey, you know what? You're an important customer to us because you were the first adopter. And you know what? The next event we're going to do, we're going to actually promote you. So I think we've gone in the NFT world from the collectible worlds into a utility world. And at Fellas, just like any project that starts, we started off in the beginning. We actually showed utility with actually being real artists. Now we're getting, and we've launched our ticketing thing. And one of the events, which I can't speak about right now, is actually a global event that's happening in Japan, and it's a global sporting event. We've also now signed up other major, for lack of a better word, club owners that you're going to be seeing more events with. So when it comes to music, media, or sports, we're getting in very deeply, but we're also getting in with utility. Why would a promoter or artist work with us? If we are not also solving the distribution problem, they don't need to work with us. So we've actually taken an approach in our company to look at the entire value chain and try to solve for it.
Yeah, I see, Bobby. Yeah, thank you for the concept, because I kind of appreciate the thing that you took FLC to to a deeper utilization, taking the NFT thing to to more thing, especially you talk about the ticketing, so that people with the NFT ticket, they can also flash students and yeah, and also do some kind of thing with the NFTs and
ticketing, right? So let's think about ticketing for 1 minute, right? So ticketing is just a simple utility, right? I'm going to an event. I'm also getting a collectible. Now let's think about above ticketing at the layer 2 level. Let's think about loyalty, right? Now, if you are a loyal customer, whether you're a loyal customer from an e-commerce perspective, or whether you're a loyal customer from a consumption perspective, I need to be able to reward you. So that's the second thing we're looking at. Then let's think about branding and licensing, because now people are watching this. Remember in the movies, people would have the Coca-Cola can or the Honda car or the Hyundai car, right? So this is really, as I keep saying always, NFTs think beyond what we have seen. It's actually monetizing intellectual property rights.
That's cool. Yeah. Because I'm also wondering, because I'm currently researching on SocialFi, and for sure I just want to know what's your view on a upcoming, maybe something a Twitter version of crypto Twitter version. People can socialize on the app, and then they can share the NFT on the platform. And do you view it as a competitor, or what do you think about this kind of projects coming up?
I think you've hit on a very important point, because see, up till now we've been in the Web 2.0 world, right? Now I'm going to take 1 or 2 minutes to explain this, right? In the Web 2.0 world, basically we ran advertising models, whether you were on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, didn't matter, right? Everybody was running a advertising model. Now, in the Web3 world, if we have to do this, the most important point is identity, right? It's how do I become discoverable? How do I have identity? What I mean by that, so today, if Twitter shuts my account for whatever reason, I lose all my connections.
Yeah.
If LinkedIn shuts my account, I lose all my connections. So what we have to think about is first solving the identity problem, making the identity transferable, and kind of a mutual login. Like life became easier when I could do a Google login on something, right?
Yeah.
That didn't mean that all my connections were also transferred, because my identity was a problem. So these are a few things that we are also working at the infrastructure level at Fellas, how to make it more effective and how to actually start encouraging the Web3 creator economy.
No, also one more question. You talk about encouraging Web3 developers getting into the development of the project and also the Web3. And what do you think about the migration between Web2 developer to Web3 developer? Because you definitely want to, have.
So that's a great question. So a good developer is a good developer. Okay. So I don't look at it as a Web 2.0 developer or Web 3.0 developer. So I look at it as a great developer, right? Today we have SDKs, depending on what protocol you're developing in. You can develop in C++, Java, Rust, whatever. What I do think about is the actual intention, right? More than the developer, we should be thinking about platforms and projects that are looking to move. Because let's be very straight, right? A developer is concerned about a job, right? He wants to develop, he wants to get paid, he wants equity upside if it was Web 2.0, or he wants token upside in Web 3.0, right? So I think it's actually defining what we are developing, getting the buy-in, because actually there were no Web3 developers 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, right? I'm just saying it generally. When I talk about level 3, level 4 development, these are all people who have actually come from the Web2 world, right? You can always execute smart contracts, but we are actually moving into a bigger world, which is, if we're talking about gaming, up till now, we only have play to earn games because a protocol mainnet cannot support more than certain number of X transactions per second. So it's an infrastructure issue. So as soon as we start leveling up on the infrastructure, you'll have more adoption, because in the Web 2.0 world, we're having millions and millions of transactions that are happening. So I actually think that there has been a massive, what I would say, migration from people in Microsoft, AWS, Google, who have now stepped in and are developing. And as this adoption continues, we'll only get better.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I agree on that. And I have one more question for you and also Lisa, since both of you are promoting NFT, and I'm actually wondering, because right now the places we can show our NFT is limited, right? And also to prove that we have the ownership of that NFT is actually limited. We don't have a comprehensive social platform that have this NFT thing incorporated into the whole and the ecosystem. And I'd just like to know how in terms of infrastructure, how would your project have you ever thought about this thing, how to solve this, this phenomenon? I just want to know your feel about it.
Lisa, you go first.
Okay. Actually, we launched the Universe Lava PFP NFT on OpenSea on this year on March, and it was like 10,000 NFTs that we sold, and then it sold out in a day, and it was still keeping it good in a good quality of communities. So because of this amazing interest and response of our holders, it was ranked at the #1 in trading volume on the OpenSea Client mainnet. But since then, we have kind of like deeper consideration about how we integrate all the communities and all the pools together in our NFT marketplace and our system. So aside from our metaverse, we have virtual economy ecosystem to put everything together inside it. So it is a structure that users can freely create and sell the content, the items that I told you, like short form films, and that actually it will going to be make the good virtuous cycle in our marketplace system, and we plan to promote more user participation engagement through the virtuous cycle models within it. So this is my answer for your question. Is it good?
You bring up a
Yes,
good
I can.
point. You bring up a good
Yeah.
point. So I think what he was asking about was actually the legal attribution and the ownership, the true ownership and identity.
Oh, sorry, I got it wrong. I got the question. Actually, like we thought about it a lot, because when we sell the NFTs, Lava NFTs, it doesn't mean that we actually sell the license of the Lava NFTs, Lava license. You guys follow me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So we are look through the legal opinions. So
It's not legal opinion. I think what you're asking about is the legal attribution and the actual ownership. So I'm going to say something controversial right now. So I've had a big problem with IPFS, right? So we've been using IPFS, and the master file sits on the IPFS. I can actually download the master file and remint it again. Now, the problem is I'm connecting to a pseudo-anonymous wallet called MetaMask. Now, if I was to get Liza's MetaMask credentials, then I would own everything, right? And the problem is that from legal perspective, she'll never be able to prove that that actually belongs to her. So what I brought up earlier was that we have to create identity. Now, when I talk about identity, now in the blockchain world, we want to be anonymous, but at the same time, we want to be discoverable. But at the same time, we want to actually have the legal attribution. So one of the things, and you'll hear more about this in the coming months, is we're looking at, so imagine if your identity, so it's, my name is Bobby, Liza, I'm X years old, I was born on a certain day, that is held by SSDID, which is, it's encrypted. Now I take the master file and I attach this master file, which is on IPFS, to this. But then I take this master file and I distribute it and put it in each piece is encrypted. And what's actually sits on the public network on the IPFS, instead of 20 pieces of metadata on the master file, it's only 10 pieces or 5 pieces. Okay? So you're absolutely right. Until we solve that attribution legal provenance problem, we are never going to get high value NFTs on the platform. That's so right now we're dealing with crypto native, and you brought up such a great question, because if we need to go from crypto native to saying, hey, I want to NFT my house. I mean, I'm going to put my $5 million house on an NFT where I cannot control or show legal attribution. But you're absolutely right. And the biggest, so there's a couple of projects that are building a social graph. So, there's a Liberty project with Polkadot. We're also investors in Polkadot. We have the thing. So the identity piece is the most important piece.
Just a side question, for the identity thing. Are you planning to actually to build a whole social ecosystem, or I'm getting lost there?
Okay, so so if we look at layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, right? So I would call fellas a layer 3, 3.5, 4, but there are certain tools that we have at layer 3 that kind of enable you, because it's consumer facing. So layer 1, think of that as a basic protocol layer, right?
Yeah.
So we've also invested and building our layer 1 to enable all of those social features we're talking about. To be done. But when we start thinking about layer 1, that's a separate project that we've invested in. We are trying to enable fellas. So we're making fellas as our key project, and with great assets and great partners, and saying, okay, where are we missing we're missing the point on identity. Oh, can we do this better? Can we do this better? And then sometimes what ends up happening is that Sometimes you're working on Ethereum or Polygon or Clayton or Tezos, etc. But you also run into limitations on those platforms. So we're also working at the bottom end. So vertically, we're very integrated. So if you thought, layer 4 was fellas, what you saw, now you're seeing a layer 3, which is our ticketing application.
I see.
Now, above and beyond the ticketing application, we have to go into identity. So we have to go to layer 2, and then we have to go to layer 1. So right now, think of it as fellas and getting some of the biggest brands in the world to already working with us. We've solved one problem called ticketing. We're going to solve a couple of other problems, which is you'll be hearing about in the next few months. But the only way we can do this is sometimes build our own.
Yeah. Another problem, actually, I think most of the social apps in crypto encounter is the storage problem. Because when you try to put so many information into the blockchain, and then they find it maybe costly and expensive to store all of the data apart from doing just transaction. Because I don't know if take it the layer, will you store a lot of information on the chain, or
No, so you're obviously right? So you have certain limitations based on the algorithm you use, but you're right. You can only store a very little amount of data, right? So what you're storing on chain is basically the transaction and a few different things, right? Now, when you're talking about storage, now the question becomes, so I don't know the specific example you're referring to, but you're absolutely right. Now, is the storage decentralized? It's not. If you're talking about storage, now it's a centralized feature.
I see.
So generally what's happening today, when people say, oh, we are decentralized, let's say, healthcare records application, right? We cannot store all those healthcare records on chain. So what actually happens on chain is basically the query function, right? So let's say Liza's there, Bobby's there, John is there. So when I'm querying that specific request, that's what's happening on chain. Now, whether I'm using a SQL database or I'm using a storage database, which is distributed, that's different. But nonetheless, that function is happening in a centralized manner. Look at exchanges today, right? So when we go to exchanges, the actual trading and settlement is happening on a centralized exchange. The only decentralized part where the chain gets updated is money in and money out.
Yeah.
So we have to be very, very clear. Now, there are certain models that are being talked about on serverless, on peer-to-peer. So there are certain other models that are coming up on, but again, it depends on very specific information requests. So for example, I could, in a decentralized network, have my healthcare records. The question is, how are they encrypted? How are they stored? How are they accessed? How does the permissioning work?
Thank you, Bobby. A lot of information for us to understand, and that's cool.
Sorry,
We learn.
I'm sorry for geeking out.
I'm sure the audience will learn a lot from the explanation of you talking through the kind of technical stuff, and that's cool. And I think some of the audience might actually be interested in knowing about the token utility of your project. So because let's talk about a Lava Nft, and then you have the ANV tokens, and also you have the KNV tokens. Would you tell us the utility of these two tokens, Lisa?
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah.
First, the Universe's ANV token is an ERC20 based token, which is listed on the Huobi Global spot market. And after Universe Lava PFE NFT sold out on the OpenSea Clayton chain, And we found out that we needed another utility token based on the Lightning chain. So we have issued DKNV, which is based on DKIP7. And it is another token within the Universe ecosystem. And it is also a real token that can be mined when staking Larva NFT. And it maintains the same price as the AMB price listed on the CEX. So if you want to trade the KMV, you need to swap the KMV to the AMB, which is ERC20 based, through the Universe Bridge system. And we support that system since like 3 months ago. So yeah, so users can trade their KMV to the AMB on various cryptocurrency exchanges where AMB is listed.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we can trade AMV and also KMV and swap them on different exchanges. So what about FLC? Bobby, would you like to tell us, you know, the utility of this token?
Yeah. So ultimately, guys, let's think about this for a second, right? Utility. So we talk about utility, but let's get down to basic economics, right? Supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
If demand exceeds supply, the token price goes up. That's what we're really interested in, right? So when we launched the Fellas project, we started with the first layer of getting the best artists and kind of digitizing their content, right? So that means at the creator level, we created the supply. Now, in order to create the demand, when we partnered up with Rakuten and we partnered up with Crypto.com and Fundagio, so we could bring more assets in there, then we thought about, okay, that's great. We can continue bringing assets and celebrities, or call it IP, that people would be interested in. But then we actually said, okay, let's get down to utility. When we started answering the utility question, the first layer of the utility question we answered was ticketing. Now, the fact of the matter is, whether it's an offline event or an online event, right? You purchase tickets, right? You buy tickets. So what we did was we also kind of took a stake in Ultra Music Festival. Now we're the co-sponsors of the Ultra Music Festival in Korea, which I believe is just ended or should be about to end. But if I'm responsible, they're still partying. But you know, that's how we actually started to bring utility. It's very simple. People want to attend an event. They have to purchase a ticket. They will purchase the ticket using the Fellas token. And with the Fellas token, if they purchase that ticket, they'll also be given an NFT. And we're building on those layers of utility. Now, I cannot talk about this now, but if we were to talk, or you can just look up on the internet, within the next 5 days, we have a big event in Bali and a big event in Tokyo. And the Tokyo one is a major sporting event. You will see Fellas right there. So we are now working with big brand names. You know, I cannot tell you which one, but you'll see it in a week. But big brand names that are now adopting the way we're doing it. So what we have done by doing this utility is create demand.
I see. Yeah. And also, what would you do? What would you two want to say to those who are looking to buy your tokens?
All the services and products such as Universe NFT marketplaces and staking that we provide till here is to maximize the users and the utility of AMB and the KMV tokens. And we in addition, also like offering benefits to our project holder is our top priority. And so we are constantly working towards generating new partnership and holding various events to our holders. And also the ecosystem of Universe token will also be expanded through the creation of Universe Metaverse and likewise Universe Land NFTs, which are planned to be released in the second half of this year. Yeah, so through the supply of various services and expansion of ecosystem, we hope that the AMB will reach all-time high again, and also hopes AMB will maintain a stable price in the Huobi spot market as well. So yeah, I hope guys keep an eye on AMB's progress and look forward to the upcoming events and the services that'll be launched in this year.
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, so I have something to say on this one. So, so what I would say is, guys, track the project's progress, right? See what we're doing and what we're accomplishing, right? So, the right or the wrong things, I cannot recommend whether you buy or not, right? But what I'm saying is that what we'll continue to do is to share with you what we are doing. We'll continue to share with you our progress. And I think you each have to make an assessment. On the channels that we're on, please ask us questions so you're fully informed. So one thing I would say is be fully informed and do your work and do your research, because we're confident that we're actually doing the right things, right? And we're working on the right things. But please ask us questions and please do your own homework before you invest, not only in us, but in anything. That's my honest advice.
Yeah, I think so too. Make sure you do your due diligence, because yeah, you have to take your own responsibility in terms of investment, and yeah, not any investment advice though here. So just some questions from our audience. Yeah, and yeah, let's talk about the future of NFT, and also what do you think about, any trends you observe currently, because it seems like it's not as active as it was before. And
yeah. Listen, that's a little bit of an anomaly, because see where global markets are today, right? I mean, sterling hit $1.03, right? I mean, the world is in a difficult spot today because of the inflationary pressures. You have the interest rates going up. So there's a lot of things that are happening at the same time. I think the future of NFTs is what you brought up before, which is that if we're going to move high value assets onto that platform, we need a new infrastructure. I don't like to be controversial, but the current infrastructure with storage of NFTs on the IPFS is actually what I think is holding us back in our development. So in the next 6 months to a year, what you're going to see are new protocols, new models, new storage solutions, new attribution models that are going to come here. The social graph, and remember this, the social graph and the identity are going to be the two biggest themes for the next 12 months, right? Because then you can show ownership. I don't have to tell you that I own it, but in the event that you do something wrong, I can claim it, number one. Number two, today, I'm sure the people who are on this channel today are all crypto natives. So you understand how important it is to protect your account and protect your holdings and protect your seed phrase, right? If we have to get the non-crypto native people onboarded, and imagine if we were to getting our mom, our cousin, our brother, I could bet you 80% are going to lose their seed phrase. Right? So, yeah, right. So then we have to think about how do we make a wallet, and in a decentral world, how do we do social recoverability of your wallet in a decentralized manner?
I think that's a big question.
It's a big question, right? So this is another question at the base level we're answering. Right now, what you're seeing is level 3 and level 4. But in order for our project to be even better than where we are, we have massive adoption. We have institutional adoption. But the institutionals are only going to stay with us if we are able to answer these more difficult questions. And that's why they're working with us.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I think that one, because I'm still optimistic about all these projects out there, and just surviving this bear market and also this difficult time. And I absolutely think that this question will be answered sometime soon later. Yeah,
we're answering it. I just can't answer right now.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. So what's your view on this later? About
I know about the NFT trends has been changed. First one is the network, and then it's became the P2E, and then the next trend was community, and then the recent one is the membership that I know. So to survive in this like stagnant market, our strategy can be summarized in maybe 2 ways. The first one is that our team has grown together with our users by listening to their opinions and advices. And we really try to carry out the project roadmap as much as possible. And when there are new updates, we share them in detail, and we'll listen to users' complaints and suggestions and offer the solutions quickly, and always do our best to help users feel a sense of belonging to the community. And that's the one. And maybe like we are trying to constantly provide our benefits and services to our holders. So like, say, for example, we have launched the NFT, which can be exchanged for real life items 2 weeks ago, and then it was like sold out in 3 minutes. There were like a Mini Cooper and a MacBook AirPods, and so we have like $70,000 worth of products on our marketplace. And people who got the rewards from NFT staking, they have a usage. They got the usage of KMV. So we try to provide a service like this, where the users can actually use their tokens and utilize what they have in our services. Likewise, we are going to integrate more services like NFT raffles and baby lava breeding system and this year. So please look forward to it.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we are running out of time, and here I want to thank Lisa and also Bobby for just taking us through your projects. I'm sure that our audience also we definitely learned a lot from you, especially from Bobby. It talked us through a lot of technical stuff from the infrastructure point of view, and also from layer 2, 3, 4, the product point of view, how to get more users on board, security problem, recovering identity problem, the kind of thing. There's a bunch of I would say these are worth wondering. These things are what we as just crypto native guys should be learning and also going through at this point.
Honestly, we're just at the beginning of this. We're just at the beginning of this, and all we got to do is just at least have the questions that we know and be ready for this. But I think, as early adopters, certain things are going to go right, certain things are not going to go right? But just be aware of all the issues and ask the right questions. And I think by the way, I am super, super hopeful as to how this industry moves, because I'm seeing the technology developments. We're in discussion with so many people. We're actually witnessing right now as it unfolds.
I'm glad that you are a blockchain masonist. What a crypto native guy. I'm sure our audience like you. Yeah, because we have, we have a lot of FUD right now, our market, a lot of FUD, especially when we see prices going down, going lower and lower. The macro is not good. I'm sure a lot of us are going to lose some optimism. And
no, but let me ask you one thing. I'll give you another perspective, right? So when the market was up, the guys used to think, oh my God, I should have invested early. And they never invested, right? But then when the market is down, so what ends up happening is fear comes in. Now, if I was to give you some investment advice, which is completely, not only in crypto, just generally speaking, would be that if you are committed or understand something, right? If you expand your horizon, I mean, we are dealing with 80, 90% volatility assets. All crypto is about 90% volatility. So if you actually believe, but don't sell your house to buy this, please. That I will tell you. Okay, yeah. Do not do that. But if you actually believe and you're taking X% of your savings and investing in this, is not a bad bet. But don't get scared in 1 month or it went down, and don't become emboldened that just because you invested and it went up, then I'm going to invest more. So it's also about regulating yourself and getting into an investor mindset. How do you invest? Look at the asset and learn how to invest. And if it's volatile, then you have to invest in a certain way. So that doesn't mean it regardless of what I invest in, tomorrow's outcome is irrelevant to me. If it's up, I don't think I'm smart. If it's down, I don't think I'm an idiot. I'm in it for 2 years. We'll figure out the right time to sell.
Yeah, that's right, Bobby. That's right. I like your view. That's cool. Yeah. So I'm sure our audience also feel good after listening to your opinion, because I think that's really helpful. And please allow me to spend some time talking the Primebox event, because in the last session, our audience would like to get rewards.
Are we talking about the money now?
Yeah.
About the money? Are we talking about the money and the rewards?
Yeah, the rewards. They are going to they're going to answer some questions I ask, and then if they get it right, they are going to get the cards. And after getting the cards, yeah, they have to do something. I'll talk about it now. So if you want to take part in the Primebox event, you have to create a supermoon. So make sure you open the Huobi app and the Primebox to the Moon event page, and then you have to collect some cards. You will need a set of 5 different cards to generate and cards. Cards can be collected by just exchanging crystals for cards. 10 crystals can exchange for 1 card. So make sure you perform the specified task and just getting the cards. So just make sure you go through the instructions there, and then you get the cards there, and then you can use a Primebox NFT or Huobi NFT as your avatar to win extra cards every day. And you can generate a supermoon with 5 different cards to win rewards. So also you win a reward, win a share from the Primebox prize pool depending on the number of supermoon generated in a day. There are some extra rewards actually. Users can purchase SSR/SR Moon Mission on Huobi NFT platform and win guaranteed ultimates for Prime List and Candy Drop events, among other privileges. So for holders, any one of the following NFT collections are entitled to additional privileges. I'll just talk a few. You can read it on the list on the page. Prime Voyager, Women with Crypto, Hanazawa, Connor, yeah. just make sure you read the instructions there and collect your cards. So I'm going to throw the questions right now. So make sure you comment down below and just let us know your answer. If you get it right, my colleagues will contact you for the prize. So first of all, what is the name of this event? This is the first question. And the second one is, how much is the total prize pool in the Primebox to the Moon event? And third question is, how many different Primebox cards do you need to make a super moon? And the fourth question is, what are the names of the Primebox cards? And the last one, how often do you get a chance to share from the Primebox times to the Moon prize pool? So make sure you get the questions right, comment down below, let us know. Yeah. So in the end, I want to thank Bobby and also Lisa again for having the conversation with me and also taking us through your projects, and we definitely learned a lot from you guys, especially Bobby, who just just spread some hope and also optimism in the crypto space. Appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's the end of today's conversation, and thank you guys for listening. And yeah, make sure you like the button and also comment down below what you think about it, any questions. Yeah, thank you for listening. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Huobi.